Hi, I'm Rebecca with Monit's Vocal Studio. Let's check in.
Go to view and then like speaker or gallery.
Oh, thank you.
How to do these classes, so now I'm like I'm learning very fast.
Hi, I'm Rebecca with Monit's Vocal Studio, and today's interview features Brea Fournier, a music student at NYU, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her experiences and some of the things that happened on the journey along the way to get into NYU. So check it out. Make sure to check out more about Brea, as I'll have some links in the description box below if you're watching on the YouTube platform, and enjoy. First question I wanted to ask you, for anyone watching, anyone that knows you and then doesn't even know you, tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now, where you live, what you're up to.
Okay. Hi, my name is Brea. My artist name is Brea Fournier. I am a pop rock artist and songwriter. I'm currently living in Brooklyn. I am a junior at NYU's Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, where I'm learning songwriting, performance, and production.
Wow, that must be really exciting.
It is. It really is. It's the dream. It was like my dream school of all time that I never thought I'd get into. So the fact that I'm here and that I'm already a junior is crazy.
So do they, what kind of pace do they have you going at? Is it rapid fire, the learning process there?
Yeah, it's different for everybody because the way they accept people is kind of really cool. Like everybody sort of has their own different thing going on. Like obviously, like when I came in, like I came from obviously like a performance background and songwriting background. I didn't know anything about production or engineering. And then like on the other side, there's like I have friends who are like that's been their thing their whole life, and then they had to write a song and they were like what? So it's kind of everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but then everybody learns everything. So it's a very well-rounded kind of thing, and I think it wasn't too overwhelming either because it's very like staggered. Like you don't get to certain things till you're like a certain level in the program.
Yeah, for sure. And I imagine
Mhm.
that right now with the world as it is, learning and making music, it's shifted. I keep hearing that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's crazy to be like halfway through and in this time it really is in some ways. I mean obviously everybody's like disappointed in some ways. Like it's been difficult for me, especially like one of the biggest things that I've been getting out of this program is like time in recording studios and like really learning how to use that as if it's an instrument. And I sort of got to a point where I felt like I was kind of like taking off, like about to, with like my sense of comfort in that way when all of that went away. And they are like figuring out ways to open them again when safely. But on the other side, I've also like with all this time at home, like I've learned so many ways like to make music like by myself in my apartment and make performances even, and like make my own like stages, and I've been recording a lot. So all that has been good too because those are skills I can have, like and I don't have access to like these facilities anymore as readily.
It's probably amazing. I bet the facilities are
Yeah,
high. Yeah, that's
they're
wonderful.
so amazing, and we just got these like brand new ones last year, so it's kind of a bummer we didn't get very much time in them.
Oh man. So question I have for you.
Yeah.
So at the end of all of this, when
Mhm.
you're done with college, what, I mean, or even down the pike, what is it that you want to be doing musically as your career?
I mean, me being like a touring musician and songwriter is definitely like the ultimate goal. Another thing that happened like right before everything shut down is I kind of got into a groove of performing around the city. I had a band together, of some of my really good friends. So all that was really exciting, and I'm sure we'll reconvene when we can. But so yeah, like I was having so much fun doing that. I was just like, wow, like this can be my life if I want it to be. So that's definitely number one top priority. But I've also through like the other things I've been learning in this program that I didn't really know much about before I got to college. I've been learning like music journalism skills and like production and things like that. So I've had a few internships that have like been more about that and been more about like writing about music, which has been really fun too. So I'm definitely open to all those things as well, especially because who knows what the job market's going to look like when I graduate. So
Right.
I think those things have been really good for me to learn too.
I think that's really cool. And I think that's you're in a great place to learn all of those things, that's
Hmm.
for sure. But like going back in time, when you were before you left for well, and I'd love for you to tell a little bit more about this experience. But for
Hmm.
any of you who know Brea, she went to a performing arts high school,
I
and that's
did,
how I
yes.
met Brea. It was when you
Hmm.
were leaving, you were getting ready, leaving middle
Yes, I
school.
was about to go. I
Yes,
know. I was thinking about that. I was like, that's crazy. I knew Becca like before I even went to high school. Like it went so fast
I
too.
know it has gone so
Hmm.
fast. And if you go back to that eighth grade, that window where you were making that decision, what was that
Yeah.
like? Because you had to really, it was a big leap.
No, I was thinking about that like this morning too. I was just thinking like I kind of knew it, but also like that was definitely the moment where I think things started to like kick in for me. Like I had been knowing that like singing and performing, like I'd been doing it my whole life, but like that's when I sort of got extra serious about it was like that window when I decided to like move and go to a new high school and like leave all my friends and stuff. Like that was kind of it. I think that's the moment that like sort of needed to happen. It was like the best decision ever. I had an amazing high school experience. I know a lot of people don't, so I feel so lucky. I had a really not good like junior high experience, so I felt like I kind of deserved it. So it was so fun. It was very like an unconventional high school experience for sure, but it was amazing. I was performing like all the time, like just my whole life revolved around performing, and it was really great. I made amazing friends too.
I bet. And being in that world with so many people who have the same level of excitement and passion
Yes.
is like you just make it's like a family, lifelong
Totally.
friends.
Yeah, and I think in that way also, it definitely prepared me more for college, like for now being in a competitive program. Like it like because when I was like living in Coeur d'Alene and stuff, like not I didn't really have friends who like performed. I didn't have any friends who performed or did what I did. So it's kind of big fish in a small pond thing. And then I definitely got, I was like excited to get knocked down a peg when I got to high school. Like everyone was good. Then, by the time I worked my way up to senior year, like kind of like got my, like my mojo back. But then like that experience and just being around people who are also good and who do a lot of the same stuff definitely like prepared me for college
Yeah,
and being around everybody who like we all had to be have certain experiences to get in here. So I am so grateful for that because it would have been a way bigger adjustment if I didn't have that experience before.
completely. Especially that school, the college you're going to.
Hmm.
That's a very big, for those of you
Yeah.
watching, it's a very big, important school. If you're going to be a musician, there are some important like big names that have gone there. Okay, including Brea. It's a big deal, right? And
Hmm.
but you're very humble about it. You also know, I'm sure you know
Yeah, no, I
it's a big deal, but yet you're very humble and kind.
it's yeah, thank you. No, I love it so much and it is so much fun. And it also feels like, and my professors say this a lot too, it felt kind of like really big and scary when like everybody's applying and like waiting to get in. But I remember like the first day of freshman orientation, they told us, they're like, okay, the hard part is over. Like you don't have to compete with each other anymore. Like you're all here and you're all here for a reason. And so now just like make art. And I was like, oh my gosh, and that's the way it's been. Like everybody is for the most part like really chill. I love my professors. It's a really amazing place.
Wow. So for the kid who's in Coeur d'Alene or anyone watching this, that middle schooler or that high schooler or maybe somebody who graduated from high school and just doesn't know how to get their footing, and they have a skill set and they have the drive, but they don't know how to get from point A to point B, because sometimes it's hard to know like how do you even start that process? Like what do
Yeah.
you do? What did you do
I
to
don't
get
know.
where you are?
For I think for me it happened just very naturally, like one thing to the other. Like I said, like moving for high school and then like figuring out what the next step was for me for college. Also I have like incredibly supportive parents who were just so supportive of me being an artist. And I know like not everybody has that. Even some of my friends who kind of had to make it to this program like on their own, like their parents are still not accepting of them like going to music school. So I feel very lucky that I have that. But I think the biggest thing is also just like meeting as many people as you can who are in sort of the same track in life as you, and like just making as many connections and friendships as you can, because that is the biggest thing that I've noticed, especially lately, is like making things happen and like keeping the ball rolling. Is like, for example, like my one of my best friends I made in college is actually he's a film major, and we've worked together a lot. Like I've been scoring some of his short films, so I've been like kind of getting into film scoring a little bit too, which is really exciting. And then he helped me with the music video this summer. So I think just like symbiotic artistic relationships like that are the biggest thing.
Yeah. And it's cool how organically those do show up.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Really
Yeah.
cool. And those true friendships, then they lead
Mm-hmm.
to those artistic opportunities.
Yes, it is really fun. And I think, yeah, like similarly for me, it's funny because a lot of like the closest friendships I've made are like I'm friends with a lot of artists who aren't musicians, but I kind of love that. Like I think I need to like
Yes.
have relationships with people who are at least like interested in art. Otherwise, I would have nothing to talk about with them because that's like what I care most about. But I think that's been really exciting too, because it's like, how can we make like do like sort of cross media stuff and make something new and out of the box. So I've been really liking that.
I love that. And so looking back, I remember when I first met you, there was a big, and I'm sure this is like a lifelong thing, you were doing a lot about spreading the message of kindness.
For me, like that definitely comes out in my writing a lot. And also, like I have very mixed feelings about growing up in Coeur d'Alene. It's such an
Yeah.
interesting place. But one thing I'm like so grateful for and the way it's just impacted me artistically so much is just like, yeah, like the importance of like being kind. And also it's given me sort of like a passion for activism too, and
Yeah.
that definitely comes out in my music a lot. When I was 16, so I was a sophomore in high school, I wrote this song called Humanity that was just kind of all about that, and about just accepting each other no matter what you look like, all that. And so that was really fun too. And like for that, and I made a music video for that as well. And that project was really fun because like in the video, I sort of incorporated all that. And I got to meet a bunch of different people, like all different ages, all different backgrounds. So that was really exciting. So I guess, yeah, for me, one thing that has helped me like continue implementing that into my life and hopefully inspiring others to do that is just like bringing it into my art.
Yeah. It's a really great place and an opportunity to make a difference in the world through the arts. I deal with students on the front of all of this. Like they're just getting their footing. And I can hear, like, there are times I hear students that have a phenomenal gift, but they're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about this a lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, there's a quote that says, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. And I've seen it
That's
time
so
and
true.
time again, right? Right? In the world
Yes,
you're in, I've seen
it's
so many
true.
people with hustle that pass up the talented ones or the talented
Mm-hmm.
ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I know for me, like I know people who are like way better singers than me, way better songwriters than me, but like because of that, like my thing is like I am a big yes person. I say yes to things probably more than I should, but I that and I just am always like I'm just like huge on getting things done on time and working and grinding. Part of that is definitely like my anxiety, which is a big part of my life, but I kind of like use that to help me a little bit. In some ways it does help motivate me, and I've learned to like control it to where it's like more of a positive for me. And I like that has sort of always come naturally to me. Like I was always very like in school and everything, like very um like on top of my work. So I guess yeah, I just try to remember that, like, because it's so true that like hard work and nice people will always get hired before like really talented people who are lazy. It's just true. In
Right.
like any field. So I would just, yeah, like if anybody who's kind of like struggling, getting motivated, like just think about that.
It's so true. And you were like
Hmm.
that. I remember when I met you and knew you, you had that just, there's a sense of with itness. That's the best way I could describe it. You had a with itness about you, even in your middle school years. And I thought some people just have it. Like you were mindful, and I know that that example's been shown to you as well through. I mean, I've met your mom. I haven't met your dad, but your mom has that same
Hmm.
quality, just that balance
Yeah.
of has
Yes.
just that with itness, but the kindness
Hmm.
and the goodness. And
Yeah.
it's a really beautiful combination going into the arts, because I was telling someone yesterday that we were laughing. I said, there are people that make it they're just the most wonderful, loving people. And then there are people that will step over a dead body to get there. I said,
It's true.
which one are you going to be?
Hmm.
And, it's like,
Yeah.
there's a way to do it without being that person.
True. And the other thing is like I hear, especially like my friends who are in the film industry that I've made since I've been here, like they always say that they just rather hire someone who like is nice than someone who's perfect for the role but is just like the worst. And the thing is like I think maybe like stepping over people and being really vicious about it can get you to a certain point so far. But something I also heard once, I don't know where this was, at like a songwriting workshop or something, was that like the best of any artist, of anybody, not just artist, is the best of the best are always so nice. And it's the people who are like second best who are just the worst and
Yeah.
mean and bitter. Um, so yeah, I think also just like keeping in mind like people like nice people. People like to create art in healthy, non-toxic, like fun environments. It's supposed to be fun. It doesn't have to always be so life or death. I think things will kind of happen naturally if you're just a nice person and you work hard.
Yeah, that's so
That's
true.
what, there's a sign in, I just remember there's a sign in the lobby of our recorded music building, and it's like a neon sign. It literally says work hard and be nice to people. And I think that's like, so that's it. That's all of it. Like, that's like the biggest thing I've taken away from
I
college.
think so. I think that's a good life lesson, right? It's like how
It
simple and so
is. Yeah.
profound. And like, come on, guys. You don't have
Hmm.
to be a jerk.
Totally. Yeah.
So
Work hard and be nice to people.
work hard and be nice to people,
Hmm.
guys. Don't step over dead bodies
Yeah.
there. You can do it
Yes.
with kindness. So for
Hmm.
before we head out, because I know you've got things going on today, for the person that's coming up and they see a future possibly for them in the arts in this capacity, but they don't have a lot of resources and they feel kind of like, is this possible for me? Do you know people that of all different walks in life that have made it?
No, it happens. And I think it is like, it's definitely not like, the fact is right now, like there's a lot of things wrong in our country, but one of them is that it's just like, we don't have equal opportunity right now, and it sucks. I feel so lucky that I have parents who especially like are so willing to go above and beyond to help me like um do this as my career, because I know they're both very artistic people, but they didn't choose to like go down that path. So that has been so helpful to me. And I do meet people like at my program, like it's all very much, despair. Like I said, like one of my best friends, like her mom didn't even know she applied, like didn't know she did was not supportive of her being a musician, wanted to go to like Harvard and be a lawyer, and she was just like, no, like this is what I'm doing, and it has been like so much harder for her. So I do feel lucky, but I think, yeah, again, like the biggest thing is like just like grinding, working hard, and also like meeting people, like just meet as many people as you can. And if like people see that you do work really hard and you are like a very nice person, like they're going to want to help you and they're going to want to help make things happen for you.
Totally. This has been a
Hmm.
lot of fun because people are watching these videos
Yeah.
inspired. And my whole thing is, I had this, I don't know if you ever have these moments, because I know we all do as musicians. And I'm like,
Hmm.
you know, having a giant platform like Lady Gaga, she's still a human
Hmm.
being, but you don't
Yeah.
have to have a big name to be an amazing artist. And I know
Mm-mm,
she would
no.
agree. People that have a big name would go, yeah, if you're a housewife who's a brilliant singer and performer, but that's just the life that you have. I've been
Yeah.
wanting to feature people of all different
Hmm.
walks of life and destination.
Yeah.
And you're headed
Yeah.
more toward the bigger stuff, but
Fingers crossed. I don't know. I don't feel that way, but
But there might be a time in your life where, if you decide to have a family or whatever, where that's going to take a little bit
Mhm.
of a back seat. But does that make you any less valuable as a musician?
No, I think success is completely relative. And that's another thing that has, even in high school, I had a lot of classes that were just sort of about that. Like, it's a tough world for musicians. And it doesn't, like, I think it's all just about, like, we need to keep going back to the art. Like, I have to remind myself, even, like, why do I do this? Like, because I love it. I really do love it. So that's the most important thing is that you love it and that you are happy and you feel successful in your own life, you know?
Yeah, completely. That's really good. This is good. I think this will encourage some people. I've been wanting to do this just to
Mhm.
inspire people because
Mhm.
the world's changing and opportunities have
Mhm.
shifted in how we do things. And so,
Yes.
anyway, it's so good to see you. I'm so
Good to
happy
see
for
you
you.
too. This was
Congrats.
so fun.
It's so
I
fun.
love this. I'm going to subscribe to your YouTube.
Do it. Yeah,
I
I've
will.
had this new vision for the direction I'm taking this little channel. Well, thank you again, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Good
Thanks
to
so
see you,
much. This is a
Bria.
great way to start it.
Awesome. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye, Bria.